And welcome to the Hiredgun Podcast with your host, the Hiredgun. First, like, subscribe, share. How you doing, y'all? So, might not happen last night, and good show. Um, Let me say this now. So, last night, Jay won. Okay, and a couple episodes ago, Ryan said that Jay was gonna win. He also said he wasn't gonna win without any. He said he wasn't gonna win without any interference from the bloodline. Now, it doesn't matter because of the fact that it was a no DQ in the first place. It was a fatal four way, so it was no DQ. All right, so it didn't matter what happened in that match. A win's a win, though. And Ryan was right. Jay won. Jay won. Like there's no way around. Jay won. Now, my biggest gripe with the Wolf this match, it's not even that Jay won. All right, because Jay's a problem that he won because he's on Raw. But even if LA Knight, and I'm gonna get into that, even if LA Knight would have won, right, I still would have had this big problem. I still would have had this big. And Ryan, you said that Jay's a hater. I woke up to this. A hater, and LA Knight can play his music back. LA Knight didn't let him play his music back on Monday, and he stopped him. So, hey, if LA Knight finna stop running his music back, Jay can stop him. So my biggest problem in this, even if LA Knight would have won, right, I still would have had this problem. Ryan got one last night. We could have did this. We could have had Jay in a different bracket and have him win still, right? Especially when you can pretty much call your shot on which champion you want to fight. It doesn't have to be what reign you on. Because if Jay wins, he's not gonna if he wins the whole thing, which he's not. All right. If Jay wins the whole thing, uh, he's not picking Roman. He's picking Cody. So Jay could have been in a different bracket and still won. And still represented Raw. But now we got four guys from Raw. We got Oba, who's from Raw. You got Dom, who's from Raw. You got Jay, who's from Raw. And you got Javon Evans, who's from Raw. So now, what we're really saying is, if you're not Cody, if you're not Drew, if you're not Orton, if you're not Gunther, and even though he's new for SmackDown, if you're not Gunther, right? If you're not these four guys like in the main event, fuck them. They're not worth our time, right? Because they're on SmackDown. Like, would you move? And I know the answer to this, but would you move Finn to SmackDown for if you wasn't putting a little win last night? Now, the only saving grace to that is he didn't get pinned last night. He wasn't even in the ring to get pinned last night. Like he wasn't even in the ring to get pinned last night. To be so his nickname didn't come into play. Pin Balor. That was that's his nickname. Now he hasn't been Pin Balor in a minute right now, cause he's not taking the pinfalls, right? And he's been winning lately. But like I said last night, he wasn't a factor in his pinfall. He wasn't. He wasn't. But you know who was? LA Knight. So I've been using this word a lot lately, the machine, because I was talking to Carlton and Carlton says that word, all right, and it's just been it's been used a lot. So now I've been using it a lot too. The machine. All right, and the machine has told you a couple things about LA Knight. Hey, we know how you feel about this guy, and we're gonna let him talk all the shit he wants, right? And we're gonna let you get your hopes up for him, and we're gonna let him get some wins here, some wins there. But none of this matters in the long run because we don't see him that way. Uh, we don't see him that way. You know, like I know we signed him. We to a new contract, which was the worst thing that could ever happen to him. Is him signing that new contract. I know he's like 2 years into it now, but still, the worst thing that could have ever happened is him signing that contract. Because they didn't sign that, they didn't give him a new contract because they wanted to push him. No, no, they gave him a new contract so he couldn't go nowhere. So he couldn't be a champion somewhere else and make that money somewhere else. Because trust and believe, if LA Knight goes to, if he goes to AEW, he's probably not the world champion by now, but just champion. So he's a champion or something. He's in the main event picture. He's not getting pinned as much as he's getting pinned now. He's not talking all this shit for nothing. And they know that. Like the machine, the TKO, they know that. Like and that's why they gave him a new contract. And money. But it's the worst thing they could have ever it's the worst thing they could have ever did. I mean, it's the worst thing he could have ever done. You know, because we had this conversation yesterday with Ziggler. Dolph stayed too long in the E. Alright? And they paid him. And they paid him. And they paid until he got to a certain age. And they was like, hey, listen, you making dot money. You're not that guy anymore. You know, and you know, and at that point, he was saying it too. Listen, I've been here for dot years. We run in the same play. I think it's time for me to go. Right? And they granted him his release. Right? Same thing with New Day. Right? Hey, you've been here. You're not having matches. You're not having all these matches anymore. We've done everything we could with you two. You know, you're making a lot of money. You know, we want to ask you to take a pay cut. You know, because we want you to stay. And they said no. Now, mind you, if they didn't say no and they take a pay cut, right? Some other people would have got cut that day. Like, they saved a lot of people's jobs that day, truth be told. Alright? But with LA Knight, I'm sure they didn't ask him to take no pay cut. No, right? But, like, the machine sees him as he can sell these commercials, he can make this merch, and he can go out here and make y'all happy to a certain extent. But we're never gonna put a belt on him. Like, and when I say belt, I don't mean the IC title. I don't mean the United States title, because they did that the first time just to shut y'all up. And some of y'all was like, oh, he deserves better than that. You know, like hey, he deserves the world title. But he's like, if he would have won King of the Ring, he could have just went to SmackDown. He could have just went to SmackDown and you just stayed over there. Because you know, and me and Carson and Ryan wasn't around for this conversation. Josh was around, but nah, it was me. It was me and Carson, right? It was me and Carson talking about how how if you're on SmackDown right now, you could be one of the ones to be Cody right now, because how it's looking right now is if you're Cody, I mean, if you're in the main event picture and you fighting Cody, they want the fans, the biggest heels, the fans, which I'm gonna talk about that shit too. In a minute. The fans want uh anybody like Cody right now, right? Like it can be Drew, it can be Orton, it can be well. See, I can say it can be Drew and Orton, and that's easy. That's very. It can be Sammy. It can be Finn, because Finn is 44 years old, right? And he look like he's 29, 30 right now. That boy's in shape. That boy look young, especially last night. Last night he looked like the old Finn last night. Look wise, body wise. And me and Carson talked about this. I know. So I know Ryan's gonna say uh, he's hearing he's hearing Carson's name a whole lot right now, and not his. But we talked last night. Me and listen, I already acknowledged Ryan that he was right, but like me and Tucker talked about why Finn wasn't um Watson wasn't champ enough, or in the main picture. Now, some of this had to do with bad luck. Now, it's not uh, I mean, in ways it is the LA Knight thing, and in ways it's not. Because LA Knight's more vocal, you know, in the ring and outside the ring, in interviews and everything, which the interview probably got him in trouble uh, recently. Not with Finn, but with LA Knight. When he was saying, or when he said what he said a couple weeks ago about he feels like the reason he's not as big as he could be, or the reason he's not a main eventer like he should be is because people in the back are looking, right? Because he's tired of it. But Finn, even though he was less vocal about the situation, like politics played a big part in Finn not being a multi-time champion. Politics got in the way of that. Because you had Flair knocking him because of his size. You had people in the back knocking him about his size and his height. Everything. If Finn's 6'4", 230, we're not even talking about this. Like Finn's the next Finn's a 3-time, 4-time champion. Now, or if Triple H got in charge of the company sooner, Finn would have got the belt a couple more times, because Finn is a multi-time X Division champion. When Triple H was in charge, and when and when Shawn was in charge, right? And he ran with it. So we can't say he can't run with a belt, but Vince didn't see him that way. Even when he won the belt, he got hurt, and then they just never, the machine never got behind him like that again. Now, and Finn's a Grand Slam champion. He's won every belt there is, if you look at Finn's record in WWE, not NXT, on the main roster, he has more losses than he has wins. Finn Balor. That's his nickname, Finn Balor. Now, again, it hasn't been that way lately because of the fact that the machine is using him better. Not saying they believe in him more now. No, they're using him better. They kind of dust him off and refresh him. Because when a couple of years ago, last year, they they gave him a new contract too for him to stay because that's another one they didn't want to see him anywhere else because Finn could have went to AEW and he could have reborn the Bullet Club, all right, and got his shit going. Now last night Finn got a lot of TV time last night, and like in the back, like you seen him with R Truth, you seen him with Damian Priest, you seen him with Tama Tonga. And the only person you didn't see him with is Rhea. There's a reason for that. Rhea wasn't on TV last night, and there's a reason for that. Rhea's hurt. She's been elevated for a knee injury. They don't know how bad the knee injury is, so they let her get treatment and go from there. This is not good. They just put the belt on her. They just put the belt on her. Like Mania wasn't that too long ago, right? And now we're worried about a knee injury. And I hope she's good, but she hasn't been. She hasn't wrestled in a minute, and she hasn't been on TV. I mean, no, she's been on TV, but she hasn't wrestled since her rematch with Jade. Speaking of Jade, ooh boy. Let me say this. I hope, and I'm gonna talk about Michan too, and this finisher she has now, and stuff. But I hope what I seen last night with Jade and Charlotte is not a routine, because anytime they got in the ring with each other last night, it looked slow. It looked like they were training. Did anything else. It looked like they were training did anything else last night. Or it looked like they were in a gym talking to each other and what to do in the match. And everything was in slow motion. And then Jade lost her fucking wig. She lost her fucking wig. So everything they did after that was ugly. Not with this Charlotte, but with whoever, and then like she was holding her head the whole time, so her wig wouldn't fall off. So I hope, the wig thing doesn't happen again, and I hope when Charlotte and when Charlotte and I hope when Charlotte and Jade fight, wrestle again. It's not like last night, and it looks like Charlotte calls, and so still hating on her Never championship era. It should. I mean, she should be calling him. I'll read into that one later. But I hope the Charlotte and Jade thing goes better, and I hope what we seen from Jade, her last two matches, wasn't just who she was in the ring with. Because yes, it takes two to tango, but somebody can make you look good in the ring, right? And the two best matches Jay has had has been against Rhea. Has been against Rhea. So I hope not. She had a good. Who else did she fight recently? I don't know. I won't get into that, but I hope it's not who she's in the ring with that made her look good the last two times. But we finna see because she finna fight Charlotte. Now, she also did a hint of fighting Tiffany again. for the United States title. Now that could be at Night of Champions. That could be on TV. It's not at SummerSlam. That ain't happening. All right, that's not happening. So either Night of Champions or uh, not next week because they didn't mention it. They didn't add it to. They didn't add it to the show like next week. Uh, we also got Gunther in the stipulation last night, and we knew that. Oh well, it was hinted that it was having to be a special referee, and once Duffy put that out there, we knew like anybody with common sense knew it was gonna be Sammy. Like we knew it was gonna be Sammy. Oh, hold on, let me go back to this woman stuff of matches. So I understand AJ Styles said that just take my moves, use them. I'm not using them. Use them, right? I get that. I understand that, right? And Meecham has took his style clash, right? She took it, and I mentioned earlier, I mentioned a little while ago, but things looking slow. Every time she does this fucking move, it takes forever for her to do it. It takes forever for her to like even when AJ does it fast. So does when Will Ospreay does it, he does it fast too. Every time Meecham has put this move on somebody, alright, alright, it's like it's in slow motion because she has to lock it in, and then she hits it, and then she gets a turn. Everything's in slow motion with that move, and hey, I love her. I'm a fan. Trust me, I'm a fan. Alright, and I'm even happy that she's doing it, but it gotta be a faster pace to that fucking move for her. I understand it's not her move. I understand that why she's doing it, and I understand that she's still used to doing the move. But damn, it always looks slow, and maybe because anytime she's putting that move on somebody, it's somebody tall. I can't remember. I can't remember the first time she did it. She did it the first time she did it. She did it when AJ was still wrestling, and AJ was a heel at the time. All right, and she didn't win with it, and I'm pretty sure even then, even when she did it then, it was still did slow in slow motion. All right, so but that's my rate on that one. Let me get to these flaky fans. So Sammy and Cody had a talk to like a one-on-one face talk in the crowd, right? Not in the crowd, but like in the ring, and Cody got his stuff in, and Sammy got his stuff in. Now, mind you, if this was in Italy or Saudi, the reaction would have been better for Sammy. All right, like it was like I mean the reaction he got was okay, but when Sammy slapped Cody, the fans. I'm not saying the fans didn't do anything. The fans did it. The fans said, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." When Cody slapped Sammy back, there was ooh, and there was one more time, one more time, one more time. Like now, and now mind you, Cody's the face, Sammy's the heel, so I get it, I get it, but. Like the fans are the biggest heels sometimes. I mean, well, no, not sometimes. Like all the time, they're the biggest heels here. All right, and that because of the fact that even back in even when Cody wasn't champ, it was we want Cody, right? And now people tired of Cody. People tired of Cody. Now the fans of the biggest hill was Jay. Jay won. Now, this has been going on for a minute now. Jay won the big match, and the fans and the internet, not in the stadium, but in the internet, alright, will bitch and moan and complain about Jay winning. Alright? Just bitch and moan about it. Bitch and moan, just bitch and moan about it. Alright? And cry about it. Alright? Now, did I want Jay to win last night? No, I didn't. But it is what it is. Like, the machine's telling you that they rather see Jay win than LA Knight win. They rather see Jay win than Finn win. Right? They rather see Jay win than Royce Keith. Because in all reality, Jay makes more money than anybody I just named. When it comes to merch, he makes more money. When Jay has a meet and sign stuff, or people come. Them kids still come, and that's what matters to them. Right? He's on commercials. Right? He's in the bloodline. Right? And for anybody who knows this, the bloodline still sells. This is why Roman's champion right now. This is why the Usos are on SmackDown and on Raw. This is why you see the Usos at stadiums. I said Usos, I'm being nice. To Jimmy don't matter. Jimmy's just there. Alright? Jimmy's not going to win a world title, a WWE title, a singles title. That shit's not in his cards. This is about Jay and Roman. And we sprinkle in Solo here. We sprinkle in Jimmy here. We sprinkle in Jacob. Now, mind you, it's Roman, Jay, Jacob, and whoever else after that. And now, they was there last night. Oh, Jay and Jimmy was there Jay was there because he had a match. Right? Jimmy was there to make sure nobody interfered in that match. Right? That didn't work out how he wanted to. Alright? Jacob was there for a whole different reason. Right? Jacob was there to see Solo. Because Roman went Solo back. And it may not happen now, but Solo's going back to Roman. That's happening. That is happening. Now, how it happened, who knows? Because Solo told you Jimmy, not Jimmy. Solo told Jacob last night, if Roman wants me back, he'll have to come see me. Alright? So, again, it's gonna happen. How it happens, we will see. But it's gonna happen. Alright? Whether Tama Tonga and his brother turn on him to make it happen, it's gonna happen. It's guaranteed gonna happen. Ain't no way around that. Long storytelling. Nah, Solo interfered in that match last night, which doesn't matter because there's no it doesn't matter because there's no DQ in that match. Now, going forth, we have Ova versus Dom. in my mind, Dom was winning. I don't. I, Dom's not winning clean now because when you look at the bracket, Over should win the whole thing. There's no one. There's no one in this match that can beat Over. Right now, when it was a whole bracket, right, of people, right, there was still no one in this in that bracket that can beat Over straight up. Maybe Veron, maybe Veron, and I'm being nice with that one. I'm being considerate on that one. But anybody else, there was no one else that can beat Over in this bracket. Now, since we know the final four, there's no one that can beat Over straight up in this match. This is why Over's not winning. The plans have already been set in stone. Who Over's gonna fight? Because anytime Over is in a ring or he has a match, he calls out Brock. That's who he's fighting. Now, when does Brock respond to this man? Does he respond to him next week when he fights Dom? Does he respond to him in the finals? And this is how whoever wins. I mean, I think Javon's winning next week. I think Javon's winning. I think Javon's beating Jay next week. Would there be interference in that match? Probably so. Not on Jay's part because I don't. As of right now, okay, I don't see hope happening with Jay winning. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Because I'm not gonna sit here and tell y'all that Javon should win. I see Javon win. I do. I don't see him winning the whole thing because then who's he challenging? He's not challenging Roman at SummerSlam. This is why I see it as a Dom thing, and then anything else. All right, and then here's the thing: if Over beats Dom next week, then whoever Over faces in the final is beating Over in the finals. Okay, well, so whether it's Jay or Javon. Alright, if it's Jay, then Jay's challenging Cody. Because it all depends. Because I don't. Because Gunther's not winning this week. He's not. Like all the cards are in his hand this week. He got a special referee, and Sammy, and it doesn't matter because of the fact that Sammy's gonna regardless of what happened with Sammy and Cody last night, Sammy's still gonna count to 3. Okay, for Cody. Like that's gonna happen. Do I want to see Gunther win? Yeah, I do. Because I'm a Gunther fan, and I wouldn't mind seeing Gunther champ. But I think when it comes down to it, Night of Champions, Sammy might get that belt. Or Gunther may get it because of the fact that it may turn into a triple threat match. Alright? And if that happens, Cody doesn't have to get pinned. Alright? So, like, Sammy can take the pin. He pinned and got to be champion then. Alright? Then, again, at SummerSlam, then what? Because if Jay wins, Jay's challenging the person from SmackDown. He's not challenging the person from Raw, right? And then if Javon wins, or Dom, if Dom wins, Dom can challenge whoever. But Dom is probably going to challenge the winner from SmackDown, not Roman, not Roman. All right. So, but I'm going to end the show with that. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. Make sure you guys watch wrestling. Make sure you guys watch E-Feds, New Breed. Um, God bless. Love y'all. I'm out, y'all. This is, oh, hold on. Please like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment. This is the High Gun and the High Gun Podcast. Love y'all. God bless. I'm out.